2 weeks ago, to be exact, the last week of the month of June, I engaged with Saravia Landscaping Services, and I asked them to do work in front of the back of reseeding the lawn on my property in Gettysburg, Maryland. And the individual that was in charge, his name is Wilson, and he came and did the work. And before doing that, we agreed on a payment on the service, which I paid. And looking at the work that he's done, he left the back halfway down. He didn't reseed it. He only did the front part of it, and then he left me with the straws and all the cover of the seeds in the back and the front of the house. He came back and he told me he would leave those covers because they could be used as fertilizer, but they were not. He didn't want to finish the job. He just wanted to leave those straws on top of the grass, and that's it. Then he suggested doing another service in the house because we noticed that the deck need to be painted. And I asked him how much would that cost, and he said it'll cost you $500. So I thought maybe since he's here, for me to give him the job, and he asked me to give him half of the work in advance, which I did. I paid him $250. Once he came into the house, he brought the guy, and he said the paint is not it's not the one that you need. You need to exchange this paint because this is not it's not going to work on the deck. I took the paint to the store, and they told me they are wrong. This paint is correct for the deck. They should use this because here's the description of the paint. This is the quality of the paint, and this is what the paint will do into your deck. I discussed this with Wilson again, and he said, well, we need to put another coat of paint in a double coat of paint. It's going to cost you more than the $500, and it's better for you to have it repainted again. I said, no, I cannot do that. And then he said to me, well, if you don't want the work, I'm just going to walk away, which he did. He left with, number one, with payment in advance of $250, and second, with the lawn halfway done, and actually on the back, he didn't do it. He just put straws in the back, and he walked out. He's a street smart talker. He lies and he covers up. He just doesn't do the professional job that one is requested and one's expecting from a landscape to do. I want to forewarn and I want to advise the public to be careful with the service they ask. And second, I want Saravia Landscape at least pay me back the $250. I tried to call them, and I put a message to them, and I wrote a reference in the site, but I noticed that there is no secretary, there's no one to answer calls. The calls go directly to Wilson Saravia, which is the guy who I talked to. What he does is he contracts some illegal immigrants, and he just let them do the job, and he just walks from one house to the other. But he's a scamming. When you ask them to do something, he immediately adds jobs that they're not needed. Like in this case, he said, we need to make 2 coats of paint on the neck, which was not needed. And if you challenge him and you tell him, well, you need to finish this first, he says, well, then the contract is done. I'm just going to wait. And he just walks away. But what I did is I sent a message. I sent a letter to the Consumer Protection Agency in the Montgomery County, part of the city of Gettysburg, Maryland. I sent them a message and I told them exactly what happened. And I expressed to them that, you know, the public needs to be aware of this type of behavior, and be aware that, you know, they're going to do scamming and then do unprofessional jobs. The company is not a company that it's established company. He is just the one. He is the company. I call him. There's no secretary. There's no phone. And if you call them, it goes directly to his phone.